Hey there, it's Miriam with Mobile Geeks. We're here at Mobile Congress 2016 with the LG G5, and I want to do a camera interface walkthrough with you so you can see how this works. Now, keep in mind this phone does have the optional camera grip and extra battery attached, so we have some extra controls up here which I will show you. So this is what the base interface looks like. There's a simple mode as well, but this is the main mode. So up here you can see the photos you've recently taken, and then you can go back, and then you can go down and hit that if you want to share to a specific service. The video record button, the shutter button of course, and then here this lets you go back to the home screen. On this side here you have a little menu you can get to here. It lets you select between single, which is simple, sorry, which is a mode where just tapping on the screen takes a photo, there's no settings. And this mode here, which is the standard mode, and then this other mode, which is the manual mode, which has all the manual controls on the bottom. So as you can see, there's a toggle up here for the two lenses. So this is the default view of the normal camera, the 16 megapixel camera, and here's the view of the 8 megapixel wide angle camera. So you can switch between them like that. You can also zoom by pinching and zooming. So I can go like this, and then here it switches cameras and zooming in all the way. Multi-point autofocus, of course. And as I go down to the end, this is a non-zoomed main camera, and then switches to the wide angle and wide angle. As you see, this is really wide angle. My hand is, you know, really close to the phone here, and it's getting in the shot. So that's how it works. So, so a whole bunch of really interesting info up here. You have histogram down here. You have the white balance, autofocus setting, exposure setting, ISO, and shutter speed, and f-stop is of course 1.8, and that's fixed. Down here you can tell it to auto expose. You can also adjust the shutter speed right here, the ISO right here, and you can see the scale right there, right? And then you have manual focus, which is only available on the 16 megapixel camera, not on the wide angle. And then finally the white balance over here, which you can see the degree kelvins right there on the scale. And then so this one here, if you don't lock the exposure, you can actually do a EV setting, as I was saying before. And that's for the manual mode. Again, none of this is radically different from what we saw on the G4 last year. Then of course, let's go back to this mode here, the auto mode, the default. You have the flash on, off, and auto. You have the front camera if you want to do a selfie. And then you have the mode, which lets you do multiple photos in one shot. So you can see all three cameras here. I'm right there. This is the wide and this is the narrow, and you can have it take 3 pictures of each camera at the same time and composite them into one shot. And so that is in the mode button here. Let's go back to the default mode, and then at the bottom here you got some settings like the aspect ratio and size of pictures and video, the HDR auto on off, the processing you want, sepia, etc. So they're not really filters, they're more like the type of film if you had analog film. The timer, and then you don't know if you can see it down here, voice on and off for voice trigger. And then finally, there's an OIS setting. You can turn off OIS. I don't know why that's necessary this year. There's a steady mode which adds some digital image stabilization, and then back to OIS, which is my favorite mode there. And a grid you can turn on and off. And so that's in a nutshell it. So now if you go to the manual mode, you'll see that you get some other things like turning RAW and JPEG and RAW on and off. And then here you got a bunch of different things like a level, but there's a grid as well. And yeah, so that's essentially the camera user experience. What is really cool, I think, is that, and I'll tilt the phone forward so you can see, there's that optional grip installed, which has an extra battery, so you extend the battery life, and has a shutter button and a jog wheel that you can see right here. And that lets you do things like this. Watch. There you go. So I just half pressed, you see the green square there, half pressed to focus. And then if I fully press, I get the picture. And then I can zoom by using this scroll wheel. So let's start at the wide angle here, all the way at the very bottom. So I can start from like super wide angle, and here it'll transition to the other camera there, and then continue to zoom as I use the jog wheel. And then of course zooming back, which is really quite cool. And then it's transitioning to the wide angle, and there we go. So I hope this was informative. There's also a record button up here, you can see. So this is in a nutshell what the camera experience is like on the LG G5. I hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more videos here on Mobile Geeks about all the things we see at Mobile Congress. I'm Miriam, signing out. Cheers!